Hello brothers and sisters, welcome to another episode here on Dangerous African Confessions HD. In this episode, we have a confession from our beautiful sister, who shared with us how she was initiated into lesbianism by someone that she looked up to when growing up. Now, she feels she might meet her end if things does not change in her life. She is really suffering from the consequences of the things she got herself involved with. I will entreat you all to pay much attention to what our dear sister has for us all.
I really feel sad about what I am going to talk to you about. And this has to do with my own life. The kind of life that I lead, which took my mother away from me. I have been battling this addiction or this lifestyle, and I really want to tell you so to see if I can get help from someone out there. Inasmuch as life was not very easy for me growing up, I wouldn't want to attribute this life to the kind of hardship or experience I had. I will start by saying that it was purely the fact that I was not smart enough and wise enough to step away from it when this life was introduced to me. Whatever I'm going to talk to you about has gotten me to a point where I feel life has no meaning for me. And I am really looking forward to being helped by someone. To tell you how bad this lifestyle has done to me, I will start by saying that I got introduced to this woman when I was in the first year in the secondary school. I had a friend who told me about this woman, who she said was her spiritual mother. And that she has her own church and is a very kind-hearted person. This was when after we had gotten to the third term of that first year of our secondary education, and things were not all that smooth for me. What I mean is that I had problems with most of the books that I was supposed to buy, and even sometimes, it is that my friend who will give me food to eat. I don't blame my mother, because I knew at that time she didn't have enough to be able to provide all that I needed at the time for me. So when she is able to pay for the school fees and all that she has to, I will go back to school with just the little that I will be given. I didn't complain because that was all that she had. And I knew the situation at home, so there was no point trying to complain. Because even if you talk and talk about it, it is not as if it is there that she does not want to give you. She simply didn't have it. And she was just doing her best to see us through school. So this my friend took me to meet this woman who she regarded as her spiritual mother. When we got there is this thing that the woman started doing that I didn't think bad about it. But then, it became clear when I started lesbianism. One will ask how and why I started doing this lesbian lifestyle. You see, when we met the woman, our meeting was at this nice cafe where we had a very nice chat. After the meeting, she gave us some amount of money to keep for ourselves. I was very happy, because the money she gave me could help manage my situation in school for about a month or so. During our meeting, like I said, she would touch my hand and look at me in a way that seems to suggest something romantically. But because this person I was sitting in front was a woman, I cut on my mind of such thoughts. I asked myself, how can a woman be attracted to me like that? When we returned from the meeting and we are back in the school, I told my friend about what I noticed. What she told me was that it is normal for a her to do that. She then told me that if I feel not okay by what she did, I can choose not to go with her next time she goes to meet her. This is something that I couldn't let it happen because I felt was going to be able to see myself through school. Even if my mother cannot be able to push me through to the level that I do much want to get to. So I also took it as normal as my friend had said earlier. So life went on as usual in the school. One of the days, it was on Friday when my friend told me that the woman we went to meet will visit us in the school. Just as she told me, the woman came and it was lovely. She brought to us drinks and food. And on top of it all, gave us some money too. She even gave our school mother some money too. So that evening, I asked my friend what exactly is the reason why the woman so much interest in our lives. She smiled and told me not to worry, because there is nothing that I really have to worry my brain about. So she told me that I was supposed to meet the woman alone one Saturday evening, because she was going home. And the woman wanted to see only me. So we all went out of campus together, but my friend took a different bus to where she was going. I ended up in a direction the woman gave me, and then, after some time, she came and picked me in her car. When we were on the way in her car, she placed her right hand on my thigh. This was something I wasn't expecting, and so I asked her why she is doing that. She looked at me in the face and smiled. She told me that I was such a very pretty lady. And she wouldn't want anything bad to happen to me, and that is why she wants to be in my life and make sure everything will be fine with me. When we got to the place where she took me, it was such a very nice house with just only 2 ladies who were in the house as servants. And there was nobody else in the house apart from them. She ushered me inside the main building and offered me some drink. After a while, I did feel right about myself, and I told her I wanted to rest if it is okay. She told me to feel free and rest. So she showed me a bedroom and asked me to go and sleep. The next thing I came to realize was when I was awake, I saw that I was not wearing my dress that I was wearing when I went there. I was completely naked and only blanket was covering me. I wanted to know what happened, and she told me not to worry myself about what I wanted to know. Because she was going to tell me everything that I needed to know. So I asked her to tell me what happened. But she just got up and walked out of the room, leaving me alone on my bed. I knew someone had slept with me, but she is the only one I was in the house with. I got up and did put my dress back on and went to the living room where she was. She asked me to sit down so she can tell me everything that I wanted to know. So when I sat down, she began by saying that, when she first met me, she fell in love with me and couldn't take me out of her mind. But then, the truth that she wants me to know is that she is a bisexual. And for that matter, she was attracted to me. She told me everything about how she is married, and this part of her lifestyle the husband knows nothing about it. She promised me so much that I felt I needed all the promises she gave me. So I agreed to be with her as her lover, so that she can help me through school. That is how come my life as a lesbian started. We started dating, and nothing that I needed that she didn't provide for me. She started with just me, and she started introducing dildos together with the hands and the mouth. So the next morning, she took me back to a place where I can get a car back to school. She had already given me enough money. When I went to school and met my friend, I told her what happened between the woman and myself. That was the day I got to know that my friend too is also a lesbian. When I told her about what happened between the woman and I, she smiled and told me that she knew what was going to happen. Because the woman was the one who arranged with her to bring her there. And that she is also dating a friend to the woman. It was her end that she also went to. I honestly didn't know much about this lesbian thing. And so, my friend taught me so much about it. And as a result, we also started doing it with ourselves when we were in school. We did this till we completed school. And before we completed school, we had also initiated almost about 20 girls into it. This woman was always the one who was eating me. I mean, she was always the one who acted as the man, and I was the woman. At this point, I wasn't the naive girl that she knew me to be. But in her face, I always wanted to be seen by her as that girl. One thing about these people involved in this lesbian and gay thing, when you tell them you no longer want to be involved with such thing, they always feel you have gotten a different girl and that you want to leave them. And that is why you want to use that as an excuse. So more at times, if care is not taken, they can end up causing you serious harm. This woman, after we finished school, she told me she will always be there for me, and that she do not want me to have any other person apart from him. One thing also that got me into this is when she convinced me the first day she did that to me was that she told me that she does not want me to fail in the dream I have. And the fact that she knows deep within her that, when I start dating a guy, I might end up getting pregnant, which will result in me not realizing my dreams. And when I am with her, there will be no pregnancy, but only enjoyment, that we will be enjoying ourselves without any consequences. To me at that time, it sounded nice and truth. One particular thing that I noticed was that she never called me nor picked my calls on Sundays. Even when you visit her place, she will let you leave her place before Sunday. Even after we had finished secondary school, I still didn't know why she did that. Until I asked my friend about why she always will never answer my call nor let me see her on Sundays. That day, I had the shock of my life. My friend told me that the woman I have been having all that fun and life with was actually a pastor who owns her own church. How was this possible? I asked my friend so many questions that she told me that the house that the woman took me to was not actually her main house. Because she was actually married and that she and the husband do have 2 children together. So she has that house where she does all her other or secret stuff there. And she, my friend, had actually been to the house before. This was too much for me to swallow. So I started giving the woman some excuse whenever she wanted to see me. This got her angry and passed a message through my friend to me that, if I don't take care and stop what I have been doing to her, she will deal with me in a way that I will regret later. Because of her threats, I had to go back to her for us to continue with what we had stated and were already doing. It didn't take long after that and my mother fell really sick. We took her to the hospital and I told the woman about it and she gave me some money to pay for her hospital bills. After she was discharged from the hospital, she told us that she wanted to go to see her spiritual mother and tell her about her sickness so that she can offer prayers for her. Because she believes that, when she receives prayers from her spiritual mother, she will be well. I wasn't a member of that church. My cousin, younger brother, and myself goes to one church. And my mother and my other sister also goes to a different church. So that Friday evening service, we went to this church. And to my surprise, when the head pastor mounted the pulpit to deliver whatever the Lord Almighty has given her, it was my lesbian partner. How in this world could this be? I asked myself.
Don't forget to please subscribe, share and like our videos. Kindly hit the notification bell so you will be the first to get notification to our videos when we upload. Like I always say, these are not just stories for story's sake. They are meant for us not to make these mistakes our brothers and sisters are making. That's why we share these stories with you. After listening to this story, I will say that I leave everything to our viewers to foment and share their experiences with us all, if only you have experienced something like this. Let me talk about what really is happening in this generation. Our people and loved ones are gradually being deceived into thinking that their lives depend on these pastors. If you listen to some of these things, you wonder where this world is now turning into. How the very people who are supposed to teach the young generation the good values are the very same people leading them to destruction. Pastors cannot make mistakes, and as if they cannot also do things that are dangerous. I always say that, know the God your Lord for yourself. And do not see God from someone's perspective. Because you might not know their sources and the kind of things they do behind the scenes before they come and tell you the supposed word of God. I just hope that we honestly take the important lessons from these stories to better our lives and decisions. I pray that we learn from some of these stories and live a better life. If not for anything at all, it pays to live a decent and better life. Stay blessed and be safe. Thanks for being a part of this growing family. Kindly share your thoughts with us in the comment section below. And if you are new here, please subscribe, like and share.